So you want to win at poker, right? I mean, who doesn't dream of playing like a pro, just consistently raking in those big pots? But let's be real, it is a tough, tough game to beat. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and distill a professional's playbook to find out what it actually takes to join that elite group of long-term winners. And when I say elite, I am not kidding. Check this out. The data shows that less than 2%, just 2% of all poker players are consistent long-term winners. That is a tiny sliver at the very top. This isn't about getting lucky. It's about having the right strategy. So, the real question is, how do you break into that 2% club? Well, the answer isn't some big secret. It's about having a clear, repeatable strategy. And today, we're breaking down the exact playbook the pros use to do it. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we need to understand who we're actually playing against. Then, we're going to open up 3 core playbooks: aggression, discipline, and the one that ties it all together, the mental game. And finally, we'll see how you can put it all together to build your own winning edge. All right, first things first. Before you can even think about what move to make, you have to know who you're up against. You know, poker isn't just about the 2 cards in your hand. It's about the people sitting around the table with you. At most poker tables, it really boils down to 2 main types of players. On one hand, you've got the nit. This player is super tight, super predictable. They're basically waiting for pocket aces and not much else. And on the other side, you have the fish. This is your recreational player. They play way too many hands, they call with almost anything, and, this is key, they are your #1 source of profit. Figuring out who's who is step 1. Okay, let's dive into our first playbook, aggression. This is the fun part. This is where you go on offense. Look, winning poker is proactive, not passive. This playbook is all about taking control of the hand and making your chip stack bigger. And this right here is the golden rule. It's not just a clever phrase. It is the fundamental law of aggressive poker. A check is almost always a sign of weakness, of uncertainty, and that should be a giant flashing green light for you to bet and take control of the pot. So your job is to punish that weakness. Every single time your opponent checks, you bet. It's that simple. You don't need to overthink it. Why? Because the weaker players are fish. They're going to call you with all sorts of junk. They'll call with a bad pair, a gut shot straight draw, sometimes literally just ace high. And that is how you build your stack, one punish check at a time. Now let's flip it. What happens when you're the one with the monster hand? A lot of people get cute here. They try to be tricky, to slow play. That is a huge mistake. When you hit a big hand, like a set, your only job is to build the biggest pot you possibly can. That means you have to bet, and you have to bet big to get paid off. And this leads us to the single most profitable play in all of poker, just crushing the fish. The strategy is so simple, but it's relentless. You start with a great hand, like pocket queens. You bet the flop, they call. You bet the turn, they call. And you bet the river for value. You just never take your foot off the gas, because they can't find the fold button. This is how you win their entire stack. Okay. So we've covered offense, but defense is just as important, if not more so. The discipline playbook is all about damage control. It's about knowing when to pump the brakes, protect your chips, and avoid those massive, costly mistakes that can wipe out a whole session's worth of work. This right here is the guiding principle for your entire defensive game. Remember the nit, that super tight player? When they suddenly wake up from their nap and start betting and raising like crazy, you have to believe them. They are not trying to outplay you. They are screaming at you that they have a monster hand. And this is where the pros really separate themselves. Let's say you're holding pocket kings, a beautiful hand, but the board comes out all connected. Maybe a 6, 7, 8, 9 are showing, and a nut starts firing bets at you. It hurts, I know, but you have to fold. They have the straight. Getting stubborn in that spot is how you go broke. The best players in the world know how to make huge folds. Discipline also means not falling in love with hopeless draws. You call with pocket 3s, right? You're just hoping to hit that third 3 on the flop. The flop comes, and you miss completely. At that point, you have exactly 2 cards in the entire deck that can save you. The odds are terrible. Chasing that miracle is just believing chips, plain and simple. All right, now for what might just be the most important playbook of them all. You can have perfect aggression, perfect discipline, but if your mental game cracks, none of it matters. This playbook is about mastering your own mind and using your opponent's psychology against them.
Okay, this is a brilliant, totally counterintuitive strategy. When you're playing against a maniac, someone who just loves to bluff, your first instinct might be to fight fire with fire. The pro move? Do the exact opposite. Let them do all the betting. You just check and call. You're setting a trap, and you're letting them bluff their entire stack right into your strong hands. You use their own aggression to destroy them. And now, we have to talk about the single biggest enemy of every poker player: tilt. We've all felt it. It's that hot, frustrating feeling after you get a horrible bad beat, you played the hand perfectly, and some guy hits a one-outer on the river. That frustration leads to emotional, terrible decisions. It is a certified bankroll killer. I want you to just let that sink in for a second. It is not the bad luck that will make you go broke. It's how you react to the bad luck. Controlling your emotions when things go wrong is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to win in the long run. So what do you do about it? Well, the playbook is simple, but it takes a ton of self-awareness. Step 1, you have to recognize that feeling of frustration starting to build. The second you feel it, step 2, you get up. You have to step away from the table. Go for a walk, grab a drink of water, whatever it takes. Step 3 is to reset your mindset before you even think about playing another hand. This simple habit will save you more money than any fancy play ever will. So let's bring this all home. Winning at poker isn't about memorizing 1,000 complex plays. It's about mastering a few powerful core concepts from each of these 3 playbooks and putting them together. Your winning edge comes from this trifecta working together. Your aggression playbook makes you money. You punish weakness, and you build huge pots. Your discipline playbook saves you money. You fold to obvious strength, and you don't chase long shots. And your mental playbook protects all of it. You trap the maniacs, and most importantly, you master your own emotions to stay off tilt. This is the framework. It's a blend of calculated aggression, ironclad discipline, and emotional control. These strategies are simple on the surface, but they take real practice to master. So the only question left is, now that you have the playbook, who are you going to be at the table? The fish, the nit, or the winner?
Visit bluffingmonkeys.com and start a live chat to join a poker club now.
bluffingmonkeys.com